Oh, hey there, everybody. It's me, Greg Miller from the GameOverGreggy Show, here to talk to you about movement watches. That's right. You're looking at a movement watch. Kevin tried to see my secret paper, but I won't let him see it. Hey, there's the thing. I'm here to tell you about our sponsor, Movement Watches. Movement Watches, which is MVMT Watches, was founded on the belief that style shouldn't break the bank. The watchmaker's goal is to change the way consumers think about fashion by offering high-quality, minimalist products at revolutionary prices. We get it, ladies and gentlemen. Holiday shopping can be tough, but thanks to Movement Watches, all that gift-giving anxiety can disappear with the press of the button. These watches make a perfect purchase for anyone in your life, guy or girl. And remember, they start at $95. Seriously, they sent a whole bunch of these watches to us. Go, Kev. Kevin, this is... They sent us a bunch of these watches. This is my black one with the black face and the red things, and I like it quite a bit. I was going to wear it to a wedding, but I forgot it here at the office. Don't do that when you go to weddings. Otherwise, you don't have a movement watch. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, right now, you can get 15% off with free shipping and free returns by going to movementwatches.com/kinda. This watch has a really clean design. Seriously, I get compliments from you guys in the comments all the time, except when you're like, why are there so many ads? Now is the time to step up your watch game. Go to mvmtwatches.com/kinda. Funny. Ha. Nick, what's your topic?
Kill!
I thought you took a bite of celery. I was like, what
Sounds like
fuck?
celery.
When's the last time you guys were in a situation where you were forced to not have a cell phone?
Whoa.
How awesome was that? Did you realize how awesome that aspect of the night was for us?
I got it.
Go for it.
The trip that my wife and I, Travis and Laura, all go for Laura's and Pam's birthday. Travis and I loved, the girls no scuba diving. For me, glutton for punishment, and Travis is a water baby, so that's what we do. We go scuba diving. So we get out there early in the morning, and we walk out into the boat, and I'm like, son of a bitch. And I literally walked out into the water, phone in my pocket.
With your phone.
Turned around, I was like, oh my God. And I pull it out, I'm looking, I was like, oh shit. And there's one of the guys that's right there, like a little concierge on the beach. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. He's like, I'll put it up in your room, don't worry. So I hand him off my phone, and I turn around to walk back in the ocean, and Travis comes walking. I was like, fucking walked in the water with my phone. We're like, ah! And I just gotten the new Plus or whatever. It was before the 7 or whatever came, but I was just gotten the phone like a week before. I was like, Pam's gonna kill me. Go out, scuba dive, come back. It's great. Look, my phone, toast. Seawater, like salt, no way. It's gone. Corroding. So I'm sitting there, we're on the beach, got no phone. So what do? Yeah. Dude, this has become a sense for us. It thinks for us, it sees for us, it plans for us, it hears for us, it talks for us. To take that away, I mean, I remember sitting there on the beach looking, and I just literally watched the clouds. And I was so aware. I was listening to the breeze. I was listening to conversations happening back here. I talked with Pam, which we never talk.
Yeah.
God, my God, she wouldn't shut up.
Yuck.
I read Devil and Miss Prim, which I think you would really enjoy. Paulo Coelho, probably saying his name wrong. I did stuff, and I was like, whoa, this is really, really helpful. And since then, I try to make a point, because it's so easy to look at a screen, any screen.
It's the scrolling, man. You get addicted to it.
So what we used to do, being a kid of the 80s, is if you're in a situation like that required that, you went out and smoked. You went out and got a cigarette, because you could be in the most uncomfortable situation ever. It's like, I'm gonna go outside and have a cigarette, and you're party of one, totally fine. I'm sitting out here, there's an activity to it. If there's someone that you couldn't stand, you at least could commiserate with this. But now, this was at least some kind of like social interaction with the cigarette. Hey, can I bum a light? Can I bum a smoke? Hey, can you knock over a microphone? That's what I do for a living too, by the way. Weird. But for some reason now, we've gotten so just closed off, and we don't talk. We don't interact. We don't do anything. I even caught us in the way back. We're like having a really intense conversation.
Yeah.
And we would just naturally gravitate. It wasn't that I wasn't listening to what you were saying, but it was like, oh shit, I can respond to this. And you are too. There's a great book called Down and Out in the Magic Kingdom. I think you would dig that.
Sam's excited already because he heard Magic Kingdom.
So in the future, they never say when it is, we've conquered death It's basically the Ray Kurzweil thing. You can just download your consciousness to a new body. So if you want to experience dying, go for it. Or you can just live forever. But there's no phone thing because we can just sub-vocalize, so I can be talking to you, and meanwhile I'm basically having a separate conversation with any number of people.
Dr. Manhattan shit.
That's where we're headed, and we already do it. I'm listening to you as I'm texting these people, but I don't want to get there. So I think it's great to not don't look at a screen. Just don't look at a screen.
Don't get me wrong. Being disconnected is not bad, but I do feel like it gets a bad rap of you're looking at it, so you're not. We were still having the conversation, still being a part of it, but I was texting Kevin to see if he could get us food to make sure that it was working, and when he couldn't, I was able to Postmates us food, so we got here to keep everything on schedule, so you could leave and do. And it is that thing of like, we live fast. You're interacting with other people, right? Like when I come out of a shoot or whatever, and I have a message from Jen and my mom and whoever else, and I'm going back to them while I talk to Nick about something else. Granted, if Nick was like, a family member's dying, yes, put the phone down. But if we're just bullshitting, then it's a live text conversation, whereas the text is a text conversation that we're having, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but take Saturday, right? For instance,
so
which was a different environment.
Give them all.
So for context, a bunch of us went to a wedding on Saturday night where the two people, the bride and groom, requested that we all turn our cell phones in beforehand. So we had we got on the bus to go to the location where they were getting married, and they had a little slip of plastic with a little valet slip, and you put tore one off, put it on your phone, put it in the plastic, sealed it, gave it to the person, and you got it back at the end of the night when you were leaving. And every single person, myself included, was like, I'm not doing that.
100% not every single person, just Nick. Nick started 4 days before that he wasn't going to do it.
I didn't do it. Kevin didn't do it.
I'm not going to do it.
Kevin straight up kept his phone.
There's a whole bunch of people that didn't do it.
Yeah. My friend, and for different reasons, right? Various reasons. Like my friends behind us have a newborn.
Yeah, absolutely no way.
They're not giving up like one of the phones, so they just had to figure it out, right? But then, I'm not talking about everyone specifically, just for myself, I'm like, I don't want to do that. There's all these stupid reasons why that I don't want to give up my phone right now. They could lose it. Something could happen. Like what if I get what if the bus turns over? I get thrown out the window. No one can find me. I'm not gonna be able to call an Uber to get home. Stupid reasons like that, right? But inevitably,
it's the whitest thing you've ever said.
Right, exactly. But my wife, who is not really that addicted to her phone, was like, "Why don't you just do it? What's the worst that can happen? Like, we're at, if I'm sure if someone lost your phone, the groom would buy you another one. Like, it's not that big of a deal." And I'm like,
if my wife's with me, I'm totally fine.
Yeah.
If my wife's with me, I'm totally good.
But and that was kind of what tipped me over too, because she was like, I'll do it. And I'm like, well, you're here. We're going to be together all night. It's not a big deal. Like, you're the only person in my life that doesn't have someone else immediately in the vicinity. So if she needed help, whatever. We turn him in, and I'm like, initially, like, this is weird. I found myself looking, like, checking my pockets for the first hour, like, where's my phone? And we were sitting, and it was probably the worst environment to not have your phone. We were in a Greek Orthodox wedding. So we were at a wedding where the first hour, the ceremony was all chanted in. Exactly.
I can't handle it. It's too much.
Now, again, to interject right here with Catholic guilt, that you should feel yourself. Come on. That's the worst situation. Even if I had my phone, at no point would I have broken it out during that ceremony.
You would 100% have.
Bullshit.
Hey guys, I'm sitting here at a Greek Orthodox wedding. Boring. OMG. I know. Check it out.
No way, man. I can't do that.
You would have been at least tempted to be like during the 13th time that they were like walking around the little pillar with like the things on their head. I'm like,
dude,
I gotta check
best.
Twitter.
I haven't been to church in forever, and like, not granted, I'm Roman Catholic, so it's not the exact same. But when they broke out the incense and we're going like that, I was like, oh, this smell takes me back. And when I shut my eyes and started nodding off, I'm like, oh, this sensation takes me back.
It's funny because
I felt a finger up my like,
I just went to a Greek or Russian Orthodox wedding this summer, and they were saying how they used to be comically long, and they actually, and this particular one, truncated it to a more Roman Catholic size thing. Which
this was only 45 minutes, thankfully,
because they used to be like 2.5 hours, I think. Something like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I remember, because I used to shoot wedding videos. I remember some of them going up to like an hour and a half. I've never experienced that was 2 hours.
For the record,
I
forgot my movement watch, like I said I wanted to wear, so I didn't have it. And I had no idea at the time. I thought it was way longer than 45 minutes.
Really? Well,
I had no idea. We walked out. I'm like, what fucking time is it? I'm looking at the sun.
Why is the moon on fire? That's the sun. Oh, God.
If you told me, dude, that was 2.5 hours, I would have been like, yeah, man, that sucked.
Yeah. I don't think it was 1.5.
Dude,
I think it was
twice as long as what you
Some of you have watches.
What's that?
You checked your phone like 20 times.
My phone?
Yeah, I mean your watch. Like you were constantly.
Yeah, but I didn't know when it started. That was the thing. My wife told me it started 5 before.
I would have kept
the hour and then it ended 45 after. So
I would have kept at least
50
my watch
minutes-ish.
on and said, "Am I going to be like 30 feet away from where the phones are?"
Well, that was my problem. So I knew when my phone was close because my Apple Watch would all of a sudden give me like text messages from all the assholes that didn't. So they were like, there was like a sneak.
Dude, did you actually turn your phone
message
on?
going on?
There's
So-
a ton of people, and
But see, I'm on the flip side of this. I'm way closer to Greg on this, where I'm just like, all right, I understand that personal interactions are important and they're great and all that stuff. Having a phone doesn't stop those from happening. I have amazing conversations with all the people close to me constantly. How often do we talk?
we do talk a
Right?
lot. But here's
think about it. We
but
talk all the time. All
this
of
was
us.
the first situation where, for a 10-hour period,
Yeah.
I was just constantly having conversations with people
About
and not,
what? About not being able to use phones. That's my problem.
No, I
I'm
wasn't on
here
phones at all. We were-
talking
10
to all these
hours?
Yeah, we were there for
12
a
to
while.
12.
It was
Oh,
12 to 12.
no.
My problem is, then all of a sudden, that we're talking to these people,
No.
and all everyone's bitching about is their phones and not being able to have them, and
That
like, oh
wasn't-
man, this sucks or whatever.
that
And
definitely wasn't
then
my
the worst thing is you have a conversation, you're like, oh yeah, let me show you this thing. Oh wait, I can't show you this thing. Conversations now are about things that rely on
No,
this.
see,
I did have a lot of conversations too about the fact that I would love to take a photo of this. Not even talk to anybody.
Right.
This is really pretty, and there's a lot of cool
Or
Instagram.
when,
ones.
when's your wedding day? It's Tuesday, November 8th. We asked that everyone turn on their phones. No! There is a world that's going on. 10 hours? Absolutely not. I love you and I appreciate your hipster Pinterest wedding that you're having. But no, I'm gonna hang on to this phone. I'm going to understand the principle behind this, which is, can you please be present? But you can't force that. It's like, I want everyone to like each other and get along.
Well, for them, to be fair, the person that was getting married, it was our friend Alexis and our friend Hunter, and he's a San Francisco Giant. So I think it had more to do with the fact that a lot of Giant players were there, and they didn't
That makes
want
sense.
people. They didn't want them to feel uncomfortable with random people taking pictures of them partying.
My wife is a wedding or she's a photographer. Then she also does a lot of weddings. And one of the weddings that they're going to do, someone is in the military. They're like, you can't take pictures of our guests,
Right.
For a number of reasons.
Right,
It's
right.
like, okay, we completely understand that.
and then Colin
So
Powell.
it was.
walked
So
in.
it was. Yeah, for them, I think it was less about being president and more about just them being able to control.
Damn it,
At
Troy Baker.
the airport in London, he was awesome.
How do you meet everyone at airports? So Jeff Goldblum, the
airport.
Osborne family, Colin Powell. Who am I missing?
I met Colin Powell. I don't know. He was super. I told him that I was like, you would have been the first president I was going to vote for. He's like, I was never going to run. I was like, I would have voted for you.
It's like, well, now you tell me.
True story. Colin hates Colin Powell because he ruined his first name.
He's the only guy running around calling himself Colin. I know Collins. We're all Colin. It's Colin is Colin. He's one to be like, I'm Colin Powell. Then when like he becomes Secretary of Defense or whatever, up there lying about anthrax to the UN, everyone's like, great, now you're Colin? And I'm like, no, I'm Colin. I'm Colin, damn it.
You still own it.
I can't wait for the all caps kind of funny Twitter of I'm Colin, damn it.
I will say this. There's a friend of ours had a birthday, and one of the ideas that they had to do for the birthday was to write down a word that, for you, described them. Could be just a word, or most people do like a group of words or phrases. Sentence, I think that's what they call that. And it's I love the thought behind it, but it was really, really strange because it was like there's 50 people there or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, okay, what's your word? Tell me what you think about me. Travis was also there, and he and I were talking about this, and I was telling him, I was like, I feel like that's like I don't want to make a ceremony of that. You either know how I feel about you, or I'm going to tell you one-on-one. Just between you and I'm going to tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. However, that's my awkwardness with it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So other people could have been like, I don't think I've ever told you this before, and I don't know when I would get an opportunity to tell you this again, so now let me take this opportunity to tell you this. So I think there's some situations where this has made us socially underdeveloped in our attempts to be socially connected. We're actually way socially disconnected. But I agree. I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater because I love watching the thing between you and Scoville going back and forth and learning about you as a person. Just like that's a guy that has a good sense of humor about himself. I love watching what you're doing with your cooking. I love what you're doing with your porn career.
Yeah, it's great.
These are the things
They're important.
that are really important.
I do say that I know that I use it too much, and I do be cognizant of that, right? Because it is that thing of literally waking up and the first thing I do is grab the phone and then use the phone as you go into the bathroom and brush your teeth, and then I'm walking Porty and he's done, and then I'm checking the phone, and then I'm in the Uber and I'm checking, and it's like For every great text message I have or email I do need to send, there is bullshit of just like, man, I got time to kill. What's happening? A text from last night, or I'll dig deeper into Facebook and see what's going on right now. And it's like, no, that I know. What I found lately is the do not disturb mode being my best friend.
Yeah.
Swiping that on,
Interesting.
closing it, and putting it in your pocket, and then I'm not getting the vibrations because then it is the thing of like, is this a bullshit text or an important text? What am I getting? Is this something I need to interject and stop what I'm doing right now?
Yeah, that's something I did early on in my relationship with Gia, where she
Put her on
like
do not disturb. Never text her back.
Why did it end?
I realized that it bothered her when my phone would be going off all the time
yeah.
and when I touched the phone all the time. So it's just like, all right, cool, easy fixes, cool. Like I enjoy talking to her, so it's not an issue. But in terms of even when it's not about my one-on-one time with her, just seeing my phone vibrate, like it's that feeling on the
Causes
inside.
anxiety
like,
a little
ugh.
bit, yeah.
You're missing
right?
out.
So I'm like, whatever, just turn off vibrations. My phone's silent, no vibrations. Having the Apple Watch totally changes the game.
It does.
But before the Apple Watch, and it was a year of this where I didn't have it, it's just like for me to get a notification, I would have to go like that. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. But that meant that I'm actively seeking out the thing. You have to hit refresh on the page to
You're
know.
giving time to it. It's
To
not
make sure
taking
that
time
things are
from
there.
you.
Yeah, and instead of being like, oh fuck, like what was that? What is that thing that just happened?
Yeah.
You
There's
know?
This could be nothing, or
huge-
it could be a death.
There's a huge sign of respect for, just like when I sat down, I didn't realize that my phone was up. As soon as I saw something come up, don't even look at it. And if I do that,
You're in.
I'm in, and I want you to know it's a sign of respect, or even more. It's just like this thing goes away. And if you do that for your partner or for a friend, you don't have to go, you know what, let me turn this off for you. You do that one small gesture, and at least for me, I look at that and go, he's really listening.
Yeah. And that's my thing. Like I don't like putting my phone like that because I totally agree with what you're saying. Just because like I don't like putting my screen down on things. I'm one of those guys. If I see a fucking disc that way on a table,
Drive you crazy?
I'm defriending you. But for me, when you have the watch, it doesn't light up ever. So like my phone will just be there, will not light up. And like again, the only person I really give a shit about in this scenario is my girlfriend, and she knows. So it's just like I don't give a fuck. If you see my phone lighting up, I don't care.
Well, I feel like, to the point,
care
to
about
the
you.
answer to the question, I'm not going to belabor it. The last time I told the story, I was 3 days in Connecticut at a wedding, no fucking phone access at all. I lost my mind for like 10 hours, and then I thought it was like the most liberating thing ever.
It's amazing.
It's the same thing with when my phone, I went to update my phone. I haven't updated my iPhone in like 18 months because whenever I try to update it, it just bricks. So I haven't updated my phone. When I did last time, I just lost everything, and I was sad for like a second, and then I'm like, I don't really care. Like I have like all of I'm like I have all of these pictures that I'm never gonna look at again, and all of these contacts of people I don't talk to, you know. And then you slowly get like, you know, your 15 people that text you, and you're like, who is this? And then you just add them back to the. So it felt like a liberating kind of thing. I am getting concerned that we are using these things too much, and I've tried to like mine's not in my pocket or anywhere here, and I'm not always good about it, but I feel like. I don't like talking to someone when they're on their phone and all that kind of stuff, and I try to be cognizant of it that I do it to other people sometimes, and I try not to do that as well. So, I think that like when I go walk Lola or I go do something, I intentionally leave my phone behind, and I also turn off I get no notifications except for text messages and calls, like none.
Yeah, me
so
too.
yeah, like I don't need to know anything else that's going on. And the one thing that I want to throw in there, which is kind of a curveball, is. Text messaging in particular, cell phones have always done this, but texting in particular, the rise of texting over the last almost 10 years, I guess. I mean, people have been texting since the 90s, but when we really started text messaging. I feel like people text just to text sometimes, and I don't like the idea that when you call or text someone that you owe them a response necessarily. Like it's a complicated kind of thing because it's so easy that I'm hearing from people that I'm like, why are you even... No offense, but like, why are you telling me this? Or like, why? And then we have to have a conversation about this. So I'm trying to be also better about leaving people alone, and then also sending some messages that are like, we don't need to have a conversation about like X, Y, and Z every fucking day. Just because you can reach out to me doesn't mean you
It's
should.
just as bad as someone calling you, leaving a message saying, hey man, call me back.
Yeah.
You mother... I checked my voicemail for this.
That's why visual voicemail.
Yeah, visual voicemail, and then
yeah.
transcribing is the best. I'm like, yeah, because it's funny, like what Siri made of that. Gorilla takes on the
Giant
shoe.
blank line. Like, what the fuck?
Well, because it goes back to, we were talking, I mean, it's not an original or new idea. I think this is in comedy sketches and whatnot, but the idea that like, why are you calling me? Who calls people? Like
I
that.
call people.
That's
I love calling people.
Well, I have a
gets
few
things
friends like
done.
you.
Hey
I have a
man,
few-
what's
Ramon,
up?
Ramon is one of my
Get
friends
to
like you.
the point.
Yeah.
Get to the point.
That's why text is great.
Text is
Here's
great.
exactly what I want to say.
Here's the problem, though. You cannot discern tone or
Yeah.
intent.
And that's my
through
thing.
text.
That's happened a lot.
I will never, in my entire life handle something that matters with you over text. Ever.
Well, yeah, if it's
Why?
something
Because you'll just get
super
one of these
important.
I
back?
need to hear your tone.
Now, first off, you are a fucking hypocrite. You get that response
time.
because if I don't respond, I'm going to hear about it. And you just said not every text needs a response. But when I send the approval,
Hey, Greg,
that's
blah,
me
blah, blah,
giving
blah,
out.
blah, 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 blah.
Oh man.
What else is there to say? What else is there to say?
hate that
You're
fucking
a
emoji.
hypocrite.
That
You're
emoji-
forcing me into a
that emoji-
conversation I don't want to be in. You're a fucking
It's
hypocrite.
different with us. It's different, or it should be. But the yeah, like because I get number, you know, when you get calls from numbers every once in a while, I get a pit in my stomach when I'm like, who is calling you? Whose number is this?
I get so excited. I'm like, who is this?
And I just
If it's
ignore it.
When it's a real looking phone number, it's not no 800 bullshit or like if there's not like. Have you guys gotten calls where there's like 13 numbers on it? And I'm like, what the fuck is
I've
this?
got calls with just zeros.
Yeah, there's like some weird shit
Do
going
you change
on.
the way that you answer? Do you like turn into like this serious? This is Tim Gettys.
No, I was usually my thing is just yo.
Well, when Staper Provisions called, Aaron, it was our Aaron and mine anniversary, and we went to a really nice dinner at Staper Provision, and I got a call the day before from a number that I didn't recognize. I was like, oh God Almighty, and I answered it, and I realized that I had this like perky like. I don't talk like this because I'm answering the phone because I don't know who you are.
Hello.
Greetings and salutations. How are
great.
you, sir?
Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. And then I'm like, hung up the phone, went back to bed or whatever it is I always do.
Yeah. So this sucked during the election times because I kept getting a bunch of phone calls from
yeah.
like local people trying to get me to support
Scott Wiener?
motherfuckers.
Scott
yeah.
Wiener.
Fuck
So
yeah.
many. And Jane Kim, both of them. They kept calling.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good dude.
They would call.
So many.
Based
of
on
them
the
called.
giraffe on his poster. And he looks like a nerd like
It
us.
is a good draft. It is a good draft.
And
But
he
yeah,
had Jaleel White in his video.
they kept calling from these 415 numbers. I'm like,
Glad to
who
see that
could
guy's
this
still getting
be?
work.
And it's just like a bunch of bullshit. Then I feel bad for hanging up, but I'm like, no, I don't. But I'm like, you sound like a nice person. Why are you doing this job?
Tim Tam?
Yeah.
How do you want to do this? It's 5:12. Do we try to do a 15-minute topic or do you
I
want to
mean,
just... We can break up the first
This
topic.
is
It was
an
long.
episode.
Yeah, it was a
This
great
is an
episode.
episode.
Second
Shut
one
up,
was long?
Kevin.
Fuck you, Kevin.
The first one felt really long.
Do more. Do Kevin. Do voice Kevin.
I have to say that if you are ever fortunate enough to visit the studios of Kinda Funny, please go to the bathroom. Just to wash your hands, which you should do anyway, to be sanitary, whatever. But you'll just get what a magical treat that was.
That was probably the moment
me.
of the day. And we had a really good Telltale show. We've had a really good Game Over Greggy show. But when you were talking about them. So, anyways, what are we?
I mean, just full unabashed laughter. And my favorite part was the immediate connection.
Yeah, Kevin knows.
And the understanding is like, he saw it, didn't he? I'm not even going to tell you what it is. I'm not even going to tell you what
I mean, the people
know.
know.
A lot of people know.
A lot of people know. Not everyone knows. Maybe one day, if you don't know, then you will know. But what I'm really happy about is you're the
Support us on
first
Patreon.
person
What?
to, without prompting, give it a good response. Because there's been some people that we've kind of been like, but you should
Check out the
you should check out the bathroom.
Do you need to
though.
poop?
Yeah, exactly. And then they go and they're like, but like most people just kind of go in and they'll come out and just be like, oh, that's funny.
I think I was
But we got a
mid-sentence.
real laugh.
I think I was
You were.
like right
we
in
were
the
having a
middle.
conversation and then just.
Which is
Then
really
we knew.
weird that I was just like, I'm going to keep going with this conversation as
You
I'm
did. You
going to
walked
the
right
back.
You guys mind if I leave the door open here? I'm just gonna do some business.
what do you think we should do about this?
It's like Putty from Seinfeld a little bit there. David Putty? No.
That's the reference he's doing.
Oh, I didn't.
He's friends with them. They're friends.
Oh,
They're close
I don't
friends.
think I knew that.
Yeah,
Patrick Warburton?
he's in Tales from the Borderlands.
Patty is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he
Oh, I
is
didn't know.
a
I'm sorry. You looked at me like you were
really-
gonna kill me. I was like, oh Jesus.
That's not how I'm going to kill you.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Game Over Greggy show each and every week. 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table. Each bring a random topic discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can toss us a few bucks, get every episode early, along with a bunch of exclusive perks and goodies. If you have no bucks to toss, you can head over to youtube.com/kindafunny, get the entire show broken up topic by topic, day by day, until it goes up as one big video and MP3. Troy Baker, we love you so much.
Love you guys too, man. Thank
Everybody
you.
follow him on Twitter. That was a big thing today during the Telltale show.
was a
He
big
wanted to
thing.
make sure that he had a Twitter.
Troy Baker
VA? Voice
Yeah.
actor is what it stands for.
I hate that now too.
You can change it.
You're
Oh,
big-
you have a check mark though.
You can't change it. Damn.
But you, I mean, come on. You're Troy Baker. You can make
What
it
would you
happen.
change it to?
The guy that
Travis
has, I don't want to say just want Troy Baker, but then there's this guy who like, I ride motorcycles and take a picture of my cat every
Well,
once
you
in a while.
could do Troy_Baker.
I could.
That's
then,
that's pretty
no
cool.
one does that.
Isn't
I'm
that
just gonna
cool,
do it.
Nick?
I actually like
how
underscores.
cool is that?
Are you on
Nick?
your phone right now?
One day.
No, he's
everything's
ashamed
joke.
that he's Nick _Scarpino.
Everywhere. There's another Nick Scarpino.
Who works for Portillo's,
fantastic.
who's an amazing
He's a
human
great
being.
guy.
No way.
Yeah,
It's really
great
weird.
guy.
It's really weird life we live.
But he has it on everything, including Facebook.
Like I'm not that
everything.
Nick Scarpino.
I'm the other Nick Scarpino.
And it's like we want to hate him so much,
he's such
and
a
then
cool guy.
we knew who he was, and now that we met him,
Yeah,
I'm
we
like,
like him more than
this
me.
guy's fucking awesome.
And he's here.
No, he's in.
No, he was
Chicago
in
now.
Chicago originally working for Google, and then he went to Portillo's, and this is after he'd become a thing, where like our audience knew him and he knew us. And then one day I woke up and there was a tweet from a fan who's like, "How do you feel about Nick Scarpino working at Portillo's?" And I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Small world, Troy
Small
Baker.
world.
It is.
Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.
Cool.